Sophie Kinsella is an English author who's well known for her shopaholic series. Also adapted into movies, this series is about the misadventures of a finance journalist who cannot manage her own finances. Did you know Sophie Kinsella was herself a finance journalist before she became a writer, and Sophie Kinsella isn't the author's real name? Anyway, I had heard a lot about this series and I actually bought the whole series from a Books by Kilo store in Delhi. Big mistake. Never buy the whole series together. I never even read those books, but I did read four other books by Sophie Kinsella, and that's what we're talking about in today's video. If you haven't tried Sophie Kinsella books, she's basically your author if you want a light, feel good book. She mostly writes chick lit, and though these kind of books are often considered of lower standard than the other serious works of literature, I think these books deserve more love and respect and attention. Such books are the ones you will read to take a break, to de stress, and just feel better while finding some relatable character going through some funny misadventures or steamy romantic storyline. These books are good and you need them in your life. My first SK read was The Undomestic Goddess. Undomestic Goddess is about this very successful lawyer, Samantha, who's about to get the promotion of her career, but just then she makes a mistake and finally calls it quit on her career as a lawyer. She ends up becoming a housemaid, and without any skills needed for her new job, she just falls into hilarious situations. It has a simple, predictable plot, but it's the message from this book that I loved. How we often forget to live while living our career-oriented lives. For someone who's currently working way too hard at her dream job in Canada, I get this book's message even more. Anyway, this is an enjoyable and inspiring book. I just fell in love with it when I read it. You will also be able to relate to the overperformer Samantha a lot and the dilemmas that she's facing about what she should or should not do. Other characters in the book also make you laugh, and there's also this differentiation in characters living the city and village life, so that's good to see. As I finished this book, I definitely looked out for more Sophie Kinsella books. And I wish I did more of what I would have loved to do, that is read more Sophie Kinsella books, but clearly I did not do that a lot in the next few years. In fact, till date, I have read only 3 more Sophie Kinsella books. From those, another favorite of mine was Finding Audrey. This is a young adult book written by the author, and it features this girl who has a type of anxiety disorder, and because of that, she cannot talk to people or even go out. And Audrey just gives you a glimpse into her life. Her family is so funny. Her brother is addicted to video games, and her mom just cannot have it. She goes absolutely crazy about it. I still remember she even throws her son's computer out of the window. Okay, she's that crazy. Okay, the mother, she's also addicted to Daily Mail and gets obsessed every time she reads something there. I feel like nowadays it's our moms while watching reels on the internet. This is something that will make you laugh out loud. A feel-good book it is. It's definitely a book I would even reread because I remember liking it so much. And you can just, can't you just tell from my expressions, I still find this book so funny and love my experience of reading the book. Now, not all the books that you read by your favorite author would be your favorite. For example, I read Surprise Me by Sophie Kinsella, and unfortunately, it's not a really good book. I just didn't enjoy it. It's about this couple who has been together for 10 years and decide to make their relationship a bit more, a bit more interesting by surprising each other. This soon turns into a lot of funny incidents. This book, although I don't remember much of it, I just read it in, I think, 2020. It was a total miss for me. I remember I actually felt super disappointed and questioned if I want to continue reading any Sophie Kinsella books because it was just I just did not enjoy it. And because of this, I did not pick my next Sophie Kinsella book up until last year. Yeah, so I read The Burnout in 2023. It's a romantic comedy that features a girl, a marketing person at a startup who just burns out and tries to be a nun and then is forced to take a real break from work. There she meets this guy who is also suffering through a little bit like of a different kind of burnout, but he's still in the burnout club, and that's how this story starts. And it's definitely relatable. A person who's worked herself to the point of like extreme burnout, a person who has no life other than her work, she sounds quite like me, unfortunately. Her profession is also similar to mine. She's also a marketer. So yeah, for me it was so relatable. Even when this totally burnt out girl is on a break, she's constantly thinking of work, and that's even more relatable to me. One unexpected outcome of me reading this book was my improved vocabulary to describe burnout. I'm just so tired, so bone tired, so heavy and defeated and kind of nothingly. Yeah, that's one of the lines from the book. There's also a lot of talk about embarrassing moments at work, which again make you feel like you're not alone. Someone's having similar moments, even when she's really a fictional character from a book. You can just still feel like, okay, I'm not alone. That's really important when you're going through all of these things. And her break puts her on this beach holiday, and oh my god, it's just like not a typical beach, but it gave me so many like ocean vibes, and I just like missed it so much. I'm currently living in Ontario province in Canada, and like I'm surrounded by a lake, but like there's no ocean, there's no wave, there's no like the wild feeling, and that feeling that I get when I see the ocean waves, there's nothing like that. And for me, just reading this book, I just felt like I was there, I was closer to the ocean, so I liked it. And there were so many other things like fish and chips on the beach, finding a new job, being a job itself, and like corporate culture, opportunities, all of these things hit right at home. And overall, I wouldn't say the Burnout was an extraordinary book. It was normal, but it was also something so relatable and something I was grateful I read it. I definitely recommend it to you if you're a working woman in the normal corporate world and you need a short break from your work or want something relatable. And yes, that's all. These are the 4 Sophie Kinsella books I have read. And honestly, at this point, I'm not sure I will be reading more of Sophie Kinsella books. I may not, but I may, because her writing style is something that's just familiar to me and I enjoy it. I mean, not because I'm sure there are more similar books and authors out there that I could try as well, especially Indian authors. So I'm still trying to decide. But what about you? Do you plan to read any Sophie Kinsella books in this year or in the future? Maybe something from my list or something that's already on your list? Comment down below and let's discuss that. And thank you so much for watching this video. This is Manpreet signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.